Nathan here, helping you become a better jungler. For today's Challenger Jungle Series episode, we're going to be taking a look at Bel'Veth, and joining me to help teach me this champion is going to be anonymous Challenger player on EU West. I'll be referring to him in the video as Konsti. Some achievements for Konsti: he was the first person in EU West for Season 13 to hit Challenger, and he's gotten a 60% win rate with Bel'Veth up to 1000 LP this season here. As we can see, some win streaks here. He had a really high win rate initially climbing through Master. So very, very good Bel'Veth player. One of the best on EU West. Let's go straight into the video here. All right, Konsti. Let's start off with your OP GG. As we can see here, we've got some Bel'Veth, lots of Bel'Veth here. You got 44 games on this account, and we had a bit of a rough patch here, but this is what we're going to be getting, Konsti, your experience with Bel'Veth here. So my first question to you here, Konsti, is off the bat. So Bel'Veth's a relatively new champion. So I've been trying to pick up this champion. I've actually been struggling like quite a bit. I'm like 3 days in. What do you think people's misconceptions with Bel'Veth was, or like some mistakes that you made when you first started playing the champion?
I think it was weird. Like Bel'Veth came out and everyone legit said, "Nah, that champ is so bad. Don't play Bel'Veth," and all of that. But I think it was because people didn't know her limits, and I think the champ, like mainly, it was all about her limits and knowing the limits, especially on her E. And I think people also just didn't know how to use her, how to snowball with her, and didn't know how to like abuse her early. Because I think people always said her clear is bad. She can't win people in like 1v1s, like most junglers. But I think she wins almost every jungle in a like one-on-one. I think her clear, especially now after the buffs, is also really good. So yeah, I think it was just people needed time to get to know her. But over like the last 10 patches, I think she was above 52 win rate in like high elo, and that's just like really broken.
So, because the perception that everyone had, right, when Bel'Veth is like, oh my god, like an influence scaling champion, but you actually think she's really strong early game.
Yeah, I think especially when she came out, because I think they hotfixed her. It was like you had 100 stacks, and then yeah, it was like auto win, but then they nerfed it. But now she's like still her scaling is really good, and she scales really well. But I think starting from level 1, she's like really broken. That's why I also like to like late invade raptors. So yeah, I think scaling like the champ is good in almost every state, and I think it's low key like Nidalee or Lee Sin. I think
Interesting.
that's like yeah, I think that's it.
This is, correct me if I'm wrong here, so this is my current understanding of Bel'Veth. I want to get your thoughts on this. So, levels 1 to 5, let's just try and draw. I'm going to, bear with me. I'm going to draw this. We'll see how we go. Like really good skirmisher, really strong, right? So, good.
Hmm.
And then you get to level 6, and because you don't have an ultimate, you like lose to everyone, like Wukong, uh, maybe like Kane and stuff like that. And then these levels are hard unless you get Rift Herald, right? The Rift Herald form. And then once you get, I don't know, maybe like 1 or 2 items here, like level 9, 10, and then if you keep snowballing, then you're strong again. So it's like strong, weak, strong. Is this good, or is this too much of a generalization? And you're like, Nathan, what are you talking about? Shut up.
I think her ult is kind of good, especially in skirmishes. Like I wouldn't say that she's like a Nidalee or something where she doesn't have ult. I think her ult can be really broken because it's damage, but it also gives you HP back. And champs like Wukong Kane, I think you all beat them, even though they have ult. Like you don't
Really?
spike as hard as other champs
Yep.
because you get like not that good of an ult. But I think if you play around her kit, she beats all these champs, even though they have ult. Like I think it's more of a like Nidalee where you don't really have bad stages in the game if you play it out correctly. And I think this is just what makes her like that good, especially in solo queue. That if you use her well, she's like strong at every point of the game, and that's like just not balanced.
Yeah, that sounds broken by concept, Konsti.
Yeah.
So you're basically sort of saying that if you just have a really good early game here, you could just snowball the game. You're good the whole game. Like, this just doesn't matter here, this part.
Yeah.
All right, Konsti.
And then, yeah, if you get like Rift and all of that, I think that was the funny thing when Bel'Veth came out and people didn't know about her passive. Like the little thingies she spawns when she
Little
has
fish
Herald and Nash.
things. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like people didn't know this existed. And so many games just ended pre-15 because Bel'Veth was in side lane. And okay, T1 is down, T2 is down with Herald, T3 is down, and suddenly it's like Nexus is down because people just didn't know what the
You just
passive was
end
doing.
the game with like one Rift Herald.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have the Rift Herald form. All right, so let's talk about runes and builds and stuff like that. So this champion has changed a lot, right, with the mythics, or is it like, so what do we do here? Because I'm so confused with Bel'Veth builds. Like, there's a million different builds. I see people go like lethal tempo and futures market and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
What do we do here, Konsti? What do we build?
I tried a lot. I also had my lethal tempo phase, but I think Conqueror is by far the best. I also tried like a lot of things like Rageblade and stuff. I think Rageblade is kind of bad. It's like too overkill. Like, of course, it's nice if you have like 5 autos a second or something, but it's like not needed. I think right now best build is Kraken into Stride or Kraken into Borg into then Stride Breaker. And if you go Kraken into Stride, then often you go insta the Black Cleaver third. I think I did here, yeah.
So we always rush Noonquiver. So this is like your first item thing. Like, that's really important to get that on your first base, right? Your Noonquiver, 1300 gold.
Yeah.
And then we rush Kraken. Do you always build this first rather than the crit cloak?
Yeah.
Yep. And then you have magical footwear. And then do you prioritize always Stride Breaker over tier 2 boots, or does it depend on how much gold you have?
I think if you can get Stride over boots, you should get Stride. But yeah. The other thing is with the bow. I think if you can get 2 longswords or bow, because both are 700, I think bow is just better because it gives you the on hit and all you do is auto attack. So that's why it's overall just better.
And then you'll go Black Cleaver third item with this build here.
Yeah.
What are you building in this game here? You're going Kraken into Blade of the Ruin King here, and then what do you build, a Jack Shell or something like that?
I think this was Radiant. This is the other thing.
Radiant.
Like, she is really flexible. You can go Jack Shell. I think mythics that are like fine on her is Stride, especially. Then you have Radiant and Jack Shell. And you can go Rageblade or even Gale Force, but I think both aren't that good. They're like really situational. But in most cases, I think especially right now, it's just Stride or maybe Trinity. But I just think Stride is overall the best by far.
Okay. All right, so then you think that I would say, so always do Kraken Slayer into Stride, and then after that, that's situational, or like, how do you know whether you build Blade of the Ruin King or Black Cleaver?
I think Kraken first is always good. And then it just depends. I think if you really fat and they're like kind of tanky, you want Borg because it just makes you snowball even harder. But I think if they really mobile, especially right now, like LeBlanc, Ari, all of that, and I don't know, Ezreal on board, I think then Stride is really good as second because it gives you overall movement speed, but it also has the slow, and you just like QQ Stride, they're slowed, and then it's really easy to follow up. I think this is more of the main thing.
All right. All right, so then, yeah, I think that if for people watching, if you're new to Bel'Veth or like, you're in the lower ranks, I think this is just like a good default build. Would you agree, Konsti?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. I think this is really good. And if you need magic resist, will you build Wit's End, or like what's your magic resist?
Yeah, this is the other thing. You can go Kraken, and then if you don't want Borg second, because they have a lot of AP damage, then instead of Borg, you can just go Wit's End.
Okay.
But if you don't want the heavy AD item a second, I think it's still fine to just go Kraken into Stride, and then you get Mercs, and then you either get Wit's End or Hex Drinker, whatever you feel like is better.
All right. Obviously, we max Q and then we max E. That really never changes, right? It's always Q into E, then W last, right? And then runes, is this cookie cutter? You never change these ever? I think this is the best.
Yeah, I think these are the best.
Last stand or coup de grace, you don't really think it matters that much, or you think coup de grace is just
I
really...
used to be a last stand enjoyer, but I think right now I just want to be like full HP, so my auto Qs, especially in early. And if you get really fat in mid game, you never really drop really low because it's just you. I don't want to say you one shot people, but you kill people really fast and you don't really drop that low. So I think this is why, of course, in theory it's nice. Like last stand, you chill 1 HP and you press E and
Press
stuff.
E, yeah,
But
use so much damage for the
yeah,
last stand.
but I don't think it's needed.
Alright. Alright, so that's all the boring stuff, Konsti. Let's get to the exciting gameplay now, yeah? Let's look at practically how you win game Bel'Veth. So we might go over 2 VODs. We'll start with this first one here. Alright, so I'm going to ask you lots of questions here, Konsti, about like fighting with Bel'Veth and stuff. But I guess we'll think big picture here and like early game plans and like, you know, what do you think about? Like, do you overthink the early game or just like, I'm just going to do one thing? Like, what do you think about here in the early game of this game?
I think that's again the same as she is low-key like in Italy. Maybe she even has more options in early. What you can do is just stand at full clear, as always. I think she has a really good full clear overall, also really healthy and kind of fast. The other thing that you can always do, or in like 90% of the games, is late invade enemy raptors. Because they buffed her Q damage, so now it does like 140 or 150%. Or is it 120? I don't know. It just does like a ton of damage to raptors. So you always win smite because your Q does like 120
You
damage.
can't outsmite it. Yeah, you can't no one
Yeah,
can outsmite Bel'Veth, I see. So that's why
that's
contesting the Raptors is good because you always get level 2 first. Is that right? Like, is that what...
yeah. Like auto into Q does like 170 or something, and you just win every smite. And it's like you can't even force it if people contest it. I think in this game I get contested. Let's just see.
All right, so let's just talk about the plan here. So you run out of base every game, you stand in this bush, and if it was the other side of the map, you'll do the same thing, right? You'll come here, you stand in here. You don't have sweep or anything like that. You like holding the ward.
Yeah, I think
And
because the thing is you can't just force it. So even if you get contested or you are on a ward, it doesn't matter because you just one shot raptors and you get out.
you go at what time specifically? 125, 126,
Even a bit later, yeah, like 126. I think
126.
125 you wait a bit until they spawn. So I think 126 is fine.
All right, and you want to get there just a little bit before they spawn. Like, so this is perfect right here. Auto attack. Okay, wow, dude. These guys know, dude. Oh my god, you get the level 2. Okay, that's
This was
insane.
even executed really
Alright.
bad. But yeah,
Okay.
like this was like worst case, but it still worked out.
Alright. Yeah, this is crazy, Konsti. Alright, so I'm just gonna do frame by frame here. So you hit the little ones. You always hit the little one first, right? And then you do a Q.
Yeah.
And then you auto attack. So is it sort of like, let's ignore these people coming to kill you now. Is it auto attack Q, auto attack Q, or do you always do like one auto attack between each Q?
You always want to like do one auto in between, and I think at Raptors it's different because your Q one shots all the others
Or yeah, I
anyways,
see. Yeah.
and you in the end just might the bigger one. But normally you want to get the 2 autos in before you use the other spells.
Alright, so then you do an auto attack, and then you auto attack, and then you Q, and then you auto attack. Oh my god. That's
I think the thing is he fails mites here, right? Because the problem is, I think this is why I play it this way, that I don't know if he's trying to hit the Raptors or if he's trying to kill me first.
Yeah, till
So
you,
this
yeah.
is so this is why I do the Q and the Raptor drops kind of low, but it's just I need to get it low. Because if he doesn't hit the Raptors and he just tries to kill me, I can't wait for him to like hit Raptor and get it low to win smite. But yeah, even this, it was like worst case, but I think clear is now still fine. Overall, your clear is always good and you stay kind of healthy because of E.
All right, so what would you do here? So let's say if you only get contested on here, constantly in another game, do you do Raptors quickly and then try and steal the red buff away from them, or
Yeah.
that's what you do? Okay. And if they start blue, then you'll just do full 3 camps for the level 3. Is that the
Uh-huh.
general plans? Okay.
Yeah, I think then like 3 camp into then side lane gank.
And then you'll be looking to gank this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And all right, so again, people are going to watch this content and they're going to just do this every game. We're going to see every Bel'Veth in like EUS like doing this in gold and platinum and stuff like that. So how do you decide to do this versus to full clear? Because you said you like full clear on Bel'Veth as well, just doing your own full clear.
I think we could do like list what you can do. I think first is full clear. The other thing is like 3 camp red side into invade.
Yep. Into this,
Yeah.
or you can do this into. You can still make it there onto their red on most champs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the other thing is if you want to full clear, you can always start raptors, then do cracks, and then red, just so your raptors and cracks spawn earlier.
Yeah.
This is like that classic jungle thing. Then you can just do like 3 camp into like that you don't do your full red side, but that you do blue gromp and red, so you have red buff for the early skirmish into then invade.
Blue gromp and then red and then invade.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that one, Konsti. I think that one's a little bit psychopathic. I think just keep it simple with this. Yeah, just let's just do this with that. For most people.
Yeah, I think this is by far the best. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, this is where it gets a bit overwhelming, right? Again, the versatility of this champion sounds like there's so much you can do with Bel'Veth, right? So, yeah, maybe there's no right answer, you know. It's just adapt, you know, to what you're doing. All right, so now you obviously leveled it up E there, but you most of the time you level up W second, right, for your clearing?
No, I think E is always faster.
Oh, really?
W.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing with E is you just need to like try to hold it. This is why I don't E here the whole time. You like the lower people and camps are, the more damage E does. So you like want to hold E and use it when camps are at like 500 HP and not at 1.5k, because then it doesn't really do damage.
Yeah, I think the blue. I think I've tested this a bit with Bel'Veth. I'm pretty sure you can't do 500 HP. You won't execute this, or does it not?
Yeah,
matter
you
about the
will do
execute?
like 400, 450, something like this.
Okay, and then you'll just be able to finish off with an auto attack. That's fine. You don't
Yeah.
care about the execute. Okay, cool. So it's about 500 HP that you'll like do it for the beginning camps. And I think that scales pretty well, like, quickly, right? Like I think that by the point you get Kraken Slayer, you can like 1k HP kill something, right? Like like red or something like that, right?
Yeah, I think for like the first camps it's like 450, and then that's the thing with Kraken. Often you do like three Qs and autos in between, and you just eat a camp. Like you just one shot the big camps. That's the nice thing.
Okay, but with Bel'Veth E, as the game goes on though, like maybe even after the first full clear, or maybe even halfway through the second clear, you want to stop eating camps, right? Because you need to go to fights and the cooldown's too long.
I don't know why I have this. I coached someone on Bel'Veth, and he legit did this. I was like, why do you never use Eon camps? And this is why his clear was like so slow. And he was like, yeah, the cooldown is so long.
I
But
need it.
I think, yeah, but honestly, you don't need it. Like, you want it to have it up when you gank, but you should always, like, time your ganks that way that your E is going to be up then.
Okay, well, I guess we might see some examples of you not eating and stuff like that. So we'll keep looking at the game, right? Like, I'm sure that there's lots of times where you don't eat camps. So yeah, so you're just always doing one auto attack between the Qs, so you're just clearing now. So you're just, it looks like you're afraid of getting invaded here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Q. Okay, then you go finish off that at 300 HP. Got it. Yep.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You often want to like early smite camps, so they drop lower, so then your E does more damage.
Yeah, so smite first. You don't smite to end camps with
Yeah,
Bel'Veth.
that's the thing.
Yeah, you
smite
sort of finish it off with the
before,
E to utilize the E
yeah,
damage.
then you finish with E.
Right, so you're really low HP right now, so I guess you know the enemy jungler's bot here because he didn't invade you, so you're just chilling. You're happy to walk into River here, even though you're 1% health. Alright, so what are you doing now, Konsti? You're ping in the bot crab because you have priority mid. Is that what you want to do? You want to contest the bot crab?
Yeah.
You know, Rengar's there. And again, so what happens if you had no plays here, Konsti? Are you happy to base on 800 gold, or are you really trying to figure out how to get 1300 gold?
Now, I think it's always fine to base if you have 700, but I think if I don't want to get this bot side here, or Scuttle is just gone, this is the good thing about early invading or starting enemy raptors, that you know when they spawn again. So instead of like looking to gank mid here or get this bot side, you can just do Scuttle into enemy raptors. And this is already a huge lead, because after this you can base and then you just take your jungle and he is like missing raptors, and that's already like winning jungle.
So you could have actually taken his raptors here, but you're prioritizing the evade because these raptors were spawned at 3 minutes and 50 seconds, right?
Yeah, I think when I look at now, I think going raptors is like way more consistent.
Would his
But
Krugs be up? I don't know if his Krugs will be up. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's do some evade action here. So we get seen, so we're spotted. So ward in the blue buff. Victor's base in.
Would spawn, to be honest. I think he just did red, cracks, and then
went down. What did he do, Konsti? We're confused, dude. He must have done red. I think he did red Krugs Gromp, then he ganked bot, and then now he's back here. That makes sense,
I think he took, I think he took so much CS on bot because he's like 19 CS.
Yeah, what's going on here? It's very confusing.
I think he has scuttled too, so this is why he's 60. Okay, he took 3 CS.
All right, so Konsti, let's review this because this is important. It's going to be all right. So, Victor's base in. You think he's going to TP back. So, Ezreal's in base here. So you're confident in. Is it because you're against a Yuumi? Like I would never be going for this, Konsti. Why are you going for this? Is it just the strength of Bel'Veth?
Yeah, I think this is just Bel'Veth.
Okay, this is just Bel'Veth. All right. So let's review how you play this because fighting's so important. So guys, anyone's watching this video, I've been playing Bel'Veth and like, you know, I'm like a challenger player, but I play mainly early game, like not so much that heavy skirmish in champions, but I've lost so many games on Bel'Veth because I don't know how to play fights properly. So I want you to sort of walk me through constantly, like, how do you think about your ability usage? Is it like, do you use all your Qs first and then W and then to E? Do you want to start with W early? How do you think about this?
I think it's just how the enemy kites, because you always want to position yourself that you can use all your Qs. I think that's just played out and be.
Alright. So play that and we'll talk about it. So you start with W. Auto attack.
It's just champs. Yeah. Like, a lot is just you want to get autos in between all your spells. It's like you don't just want to QQ auto E or something. You want to like Q auto, then you Q after him, then again you auto and stuff, and then right before you want to E, you also want to get one more auto in. I think this is a big thing, especially in early skirmishes, but also later, that you just get so many autos in between your spells, and I think this is where like so much damage comes from.
Alright, well, you guys hard win that skirmish here. You're confident in taking this camp. You're waiting for Rengar. You think he's going to walk in here?
Yeah. And look at bot wave. Ooh. 2 or 3 waves.
Oh my. You're a psychopath, Konsti. Absolute madman.
But this is again because E is up. Like, if E is down there,
you don't fight that.
You can't ever fight that.
Okay. Alright, so you have enough gold for your Noonquiver right now, Konsti. What's going on here? Is there a reason you're doing this? You feel like there's no plays in it? You want to get your camps off spawn? What's the thought process here?
I think it's also because top crab still takes a while to spawn.
Okay.
So I think I can do cracks and then... I don't know if I base after this. I think I should base after this. Okay, we just play good because they just use temps.
So as your mindset, you're trying to help Ezreal get the wave in here, or no summoner spells? You just think this?
This is just Bel'Veth. Like, if someone is no sums, no flash, and especially you have Rakan, it's really bad missing this W.
Yeah.
I think main intention is to get the wave in, and that's what gets space into. But of course, kill is like always better.
Yeah, so you're
But
sort
yeah,
of
now
happy, even if you don't get the kill there, as long as you get the wave in, that's all you really
yeah,
can do
you
there
get wave,
anyway.
and
It doesn't matter, yeah.
now we have perfect base, like Noonquiver and bow.
This is huge, yeah. So this was basically what you'd say a perfect early game for Bel'Veth. If you get these two items on your first base, like, this is insane.
Yeah, this is perfect. And now top skull is still not up yet.
All right, so you're focusing on doing crab here. Is that what your priority is? And then you just want to get this for level 5.
Yeah, and Ragnar also has move.
Okay, so I just want to emphasize here, because we've talked a lot about E at the beginning here, Konsti. Let's look at when you execute this. You start with Smite here, and then when do you press your E? So that's about 7. So yeah, as the game goes on, I mean, that's about 800 HP there, right? And you pretty much
Yeah, I
like
think
one-shot that. Yeah.
this is the other thing. You often finish camps with the last Q.
Okay.
I think can you go back to drop?
Yep.
Because you also want to E into walls, so it's like when Q. If you Q into wall, it like cancels the animation.
Vein Q, yeah. So you hug the wall,
Yeah,
okay, I see, yeah.
you can even do it more. That you just like stay in the wall and your E just goes off, but there's like no animation.
Alright, so we've got a friendly Rakan here. Telling your Rakan to go back bot. I like that shot call in there, Konsti.
This is what I hate. It's like
Yeah,
you win
supports have
your
that,
lane,
yeah,
and
they
then you
have a
just
syndrome
decide
because they're
to
like,
play the other
I gotta roam. Like Korean supports, they roam all the time. They go top. It's like, dude, just
Yeah.
stay bot and just win the game. You know, like they're like
Yeah.
overcomplicate. They think like such good players. Like, look at me go, I'm roaming level 3 Rakan, and it's like, dude, just go bot. Make sure your 80k doesn't get dove.
Yeah, this is just waiting for her to use the E.
Beautiful. All right, so Konsti, so I want to talk a little bit here because this is what I sort of once I actually understood this a little bit more with Bel'Veth, my damage and my skirmishing went way better. So again, correct me if I'm wrong here, Konsti. So obviously there's a situation where you need your two forward queues, right? Because there's 2 forward queues and 2 backward queues, right? You need your 2 forward queues to get onto the Katarine here, but ideally you walk up and you have all 4 queues still.
I
Is that
think the good
correct?
thing is here
You need
that
it for damage.
yeah, like you need Q for damage. But the good thing is, this is what I meant with you need to know how to use your Q. That you often use your 2 Qs like this. Yeah, if you pause, it's good. Like you want to use the first 2 Qs to get close. Then if they are no flash or don't have dash, you can just W right now, and then you get like the next Q to get close.
It resets the
But
queue,
here,
yeah.
yeah, it resets the Q. But here the good thing is that Kata needs to go like towards her tower. But the 2 Qs we just used to get to her didn't use the charges that we like need if we want to get towards her tower. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to chase her. So yeah, now you can go backwards now. So
Yeah, now we
this is
can
the
go
really
into this
ideal.
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it.
So again, you're just really patient. You're just walking up, and then you do auto attack, and then
Yeah,
you're
this is the
walking
thing.
forward.
Just don't panic and just auto her. This queue is
Yeah.
bad, but yeah.
Yeah, because I see so many people here right now, any like lower elo Bel'Veth right now, honestly, they're going to be panicking here, right? So they'll be able to do this part right pretty easily, right? Q, Q, Q. And then what they'll do is that they'll probably be like panicking. Okay, you do 2 auto attacks and then you Q. And again, they would be like using another Q right now probably, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But you're just chilling, dude. You're just chilling. And then because you're able to have this next Q, okay, well, I guess that Q is obviously really int. But
Yeah.
this next one here that you're able to kill. So yeah, so I guess is it the mantra of like you're really patient with your cues, but not you're patient, but you're not in the same way. You sort of see what I'm saying? Like you're intentional.
Yeah.
You're intentional with your cues. Your cues make sense.
Yeah. I think the other thing is you need to get really comfortable with just being like, 200 HP or something and still having E up, especially in the early skirmishes. I don't think there's any champ who can deal you damage throughout your E. Like, of course, you take a bit of damage, but in early, if you have like 150 HP and Lee hits Q on you, and he uses it again, and you press E, you're just fine. It's you just need to get like really comfortable with being
Just by
really
being
low.
comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, and still having E. Like this is the thing with like knowing limits.
So I guess that the learning journey here, Konsti, is that you have to int a lot with Bel'Veth to understand the limits. Is that just
Yeah,
like a given? Like everyone has to do it, no matter if you're challenger or you're gold or you're bronze, you have to int to learn.
yeah.
So was
I
there a
think.
point in your time,
Oh
Konsti, where
yeah.
you like were inting so much in this champ, you just like, how did you figure out how to make it work? Like, why were you just like, I know this is strong. Like, again, why didn't you give up if you keep inting to learn? You know, because I could see a lot of people doing that.
I think it's just Champ has so many dashes and so much outplay potential, especially because of E. It's just so fun to play, and you're so mobile, and you snowball so many games. Like, of course, you have those really int games, and you just go like 0 and 5, and you can next it. But the Champ overall is like really fun to play. I think it also fits really well in this meta right now, and it always did. Because I think the problem is it's really hard to balance her because you also need to balance her towards competitive and stuff.
Mm.
But I think this is why she's always been in this state where she's like not completely broken and people play her in Comp 2, but it's more of she's really good in solo queue because of her kit, but she's kind of hard to execute in competitive. And I think this is why they just left her a bit untouched. But then they patched her like 2 patches ago. I think they reduced a bit of her AD, or it's a bit long ago. But they reduced her AD and they just gave her plus 20% Q damage to monsters for no reason. And I think this is like a huge buff because now you can, I don't know what's a full clear, but I think you can full clear in 3.10. Let me see. It's like really fast. It's 305 and 312 from red side. It's just
Leashless.
really, yeah, leashless.
Wow.
So you can probably just do full clear and still look to invade the enemy jungle on his 6 camp while you just full cleared.
All right, so what's your mindset now here, Konsti? Rift Shield's up at 8 minutes. Do you really think about getting Rift Shield on spawn, Konsti? Like, do
I don't think
you,
you have
or
to do it on spawn. It's like, it's really nice if you get it. I think this is something I used to think. It's like, ooh, I'm Bel'Veth. I need Rift Herald. And I think this is kind of bad. You are completely fine without Rift. I think it's more of a bonus getting Rift. Like, you shouldn't fix, how's it called? Fixing yourself that you need to get Herald. It's like, ooh, I don't get Herald, I play Bel'Veth, I lose game. It's more
like
of,
tunnel vision, like a rigid thing,
yeah,
like tunnel vision, yeah.
yeah. But it's like, if for example we don't kill bot here and I can just base and I open topside again and I do top camp so I get top gank, of course then we are stronger. Herald looks nice to take and then it's good to take, but you shouldn't like force and tunnel vision too much to get Herald every game. I think this is also a bad habit that I used to have.
So you feel like you have more success with Bel'Veth when you just like were more open to the map and just adapt in and be like thinking of Rift Herald as a bonus rather than like I'm gonna lose the game if I don't get Rift Herald.
Yeah.
All right, so we do 1Q, 2Qs forward, you smite for the slow, and then you Q again, and then we finish him off. Auto attack, bam, and then E. Beautifully executed there, Konsti. Oh my god. All right. All right, so you know what I'll probably see a lot of people do? They'll probably pick up the coral there, their little thing. They
Yeah.
probably press R there, but you know you can kill the Yumi here, so.
But this is also the thing, like you auto before you use the other Q on Yumi. And then this is the other thing, Bel'Veth is a bit like AD Elise. You can't just dive level 3, because your E is so broken, like tanking the tower, that you for sure can like tank 2 tower shots just in the E while you already like went for the dive and you still do damage while doing so. And I think if you kill bot, both of them, and they lose wave, and you die for it while you even get base in, I think it's always worth it.
So yeah, so I guess like yeah, people low HP, yeah, you're just so good at because their range is so good as well. So you can just like E kill someone, then just Q away, right? So your
Yeah,
diving's really good if people low HP.
yeah.
All right, so there's Konsti got to flame in his Alawi top for dying.
Blaming. Just weak sided didn't win. But yeah, this is what I mean. Where it's like, we get the bot play in. It's good. Now I go top side, and now I can just play Herald. But if he would have done Rift while I was doing the bot play, that's also completely fine.
Yeah. So you just know that Rift Herald wasn't taken yet, so you went to check the Rift Herald first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is huge, right? Like, you're absolutely... Like, you'll never lose this game at this point, right? It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
All right, allow his roam. I mean, she's roaming again. Start with knock up. Wow. All right. Easy peasy. All right, so you got your Kraken Slayer. Oh, this is so interesting now, Konsti. All right, so every single person right now will Rift Herald top, Konsti. Why you do not Rift Herald top? What's the thought process?
I think keeping Rift just for having the faster base, so you gain tempo, is overall really nice.
Yep.
I think top is still 5 plates or something, where it's like you don't need to Rift here, and overall we don't win the game of like playing for Illinois. I think it's way better to open mid or bot, so I think this is why there's like no reason to use it for her.
Yeah. Because a lot of people say, well, like, but Konsti, you got to get first tower goal. Like, isn't that really good for you? It's not even for the Alawi. But you're valuing the tempo here, right? It's just like, I need to just keep matching the Rengar. Just match. Don't make Rengar make plays. And again, that's not going to win the game anyway. And you probably feel like you're strong enough here at this point anyway, right? You don't need him on any more gold. It's like you're going to get Stride Breaker from breaking top tower.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is me hitting top is really bad, because right now we did bot play, based, and then we didn't farm. We just like killed him on Herald. And then we also didn't farm because we killed Kalista top. So I still have like all jungle camps up. So I low-key just want to farm right now. Or at least like get some camps in. So hitting top tower would be really bad.
Yep, so you like to think of it as like, okay, I want to be able to like make 1 or 2 plays, and then you go back to camps. And then it's like 1 play and then back to camps. 1 play camps. It's like a 1-1 rule in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, especially at this time, it's like you clear camp so fast that
With
it
the
doesn't.
form.
Yeah, form and item and E. You just need to like quickly chill and just take camps within 20 seconds.
Because I could see a lot of people get excited constantly, like, oh my god, I got Bel'Veth Rift Herald form. And then they just start fighting 24/7, and then they die, they lose the Rift Herald, and then all their camps are up, and they fall behind, and then you get outscaled. Or like people, you fall behind. Alright, so you're skipping all camps here to get aggressive here, Konsti.
I don't even know if I like it. Like, I think
you're just like, yeah, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
This is crazy, Konsti, man.
But that's the other thing. The form overall gives you movement speed, and I think you don't just have to be comfortable being really low and having E up. You just need to be like comfortable being chased by a lot of people, but having like your Qs up. But yeah, I think now the like result is fine, but I don't like the sequence that much. I think just getting camps
so
there.
What would you have done instead? So what would you have done specifically? You're happy to give the dragon? You would just full clear top, or would you have gone top out of base and cleared down?
Yeah, I think I can just clear down, to be honest, and then
go here.
Yeah, because I think especially Frenga is now on Drake, while like when I'm bot side, he should be top side, and then we just dive bot even from full HP, and we get like T1 with Herald.
Yeah.
Like this is just, I think this is what you meant. This is just, oh cool, I have form, I have 4 dashes, I have items, I want to fight, but this is like not best play you can do.
Yeah, so I think it's really important to be disciplined, maybe more so with Bel'Veth when you're like this far ahead. Because I think it's so easy to just into your form. Because imagine if you die here, it's so bad, right? Like it's just like you just throw your entire lead and you lose your Rift Herald Bel'Veth form. All right, so I just want to look at this skirmish here quickly. Yeah, so why don't you W the Katarina? Why do you E her first? What's the thought process here? So you running away.
It's just that now she flashes me and has damage, or she just E's?
Because you need to E the ult damage. Is that? I think that's what you're doing. Yeah. But you would W, but yeah, you have to.
I think this is something else. For example, in this game, there's like Kata ult and Kata daggers, and the Rengar Q when he has his passive up. You just need to think at the start of the game what are like the most burst heavy abilities, like Lee Sin, second Q and stuff. And so you just want to prepare yourself what you want to E. Like, of course, you want to E when you're low, but for example, if Lee hits the first Q and both of you are low, and then he reactivates, so he's like flying towards you with second Q, then you already want to know you press E now, because this is going to be the most damage that he has, and then the autos will do way less than his second Q.
So yeah, so this is what you do at the beginning of the game. You're like thinking about what are the key damage abilities I need to be thinking about in. That's like a thing that you think about before. Like when do you think about that? Just all throughout the game or early game specifically in Champ Select?
I think you really get used to it when playing a lot of Bel'Veth, but I think especially if you want to pick up the champ, it's good to think about it this way. Maybe even champ select or in loading, where you, or at least if you just cut it down to what's enemy's jungle most burst heavy ability. So you just get ready to eat that ability.
All right, so you don't care about Dragon here. You're just doing your camps. It seems like suddenly, Konsti, I think you realize I'm doing my camps now. I don't care about objectives or anything like that. I need to hit my camps for a little bit. I almost died before.
I think the other thing is you can't do drakes, but a lot of times you just snowball, especially if you get first herald, you get second herald, and either you end with second herald or you just end on 20 Nash because you're that fed. I think I kill her too, but then she exhausts. I don't think we do it here, but something you can do is you just get T2 after you kill them and get T1 if you have Herald passive. Because you kill them, you push wave in, and you spawn your passive, and then often there's another wave coming, you also spawn passive there, and you still have Rift. So
Yeah, so you'll be able to break the tier 2.
Yeah.
But you don't do it this game because you just feel like you're too low HP, maybe, or
Not too low, but I want the camps. I don't know if he breaks.
Camps.
Okay, yeah, he does. Yeah, this is like so much gold.
Just still looking for fights. Here we go. Konsti's looking for another fight.
Rakan Bel'Veth is also so stupid when they both come with so many dashes. But I think this is something, especially on bot lane, you can just abuse one lane that's no flash. Because you just have so many. I think this is what makes champ so broken, that you just have so many dashes, and there's like almost no counterplay to you just dashing in their lane, and you still have two more dashes and the W, which resets another dash. It's just like, yeah, how can play?
So you really think about punishing no flashes champs, like
Yeah.
a mobile champ, you just kill them so easily. Yeah, because there's no counterplay. Like you have two forward queues. If you have flashes as well, you just kill them all the time, right? Like they can't survive. Alright, so you got lots of gold, Konsti. You don't care about base in here. You're just happy to just. I mean, I guess you're killing them all the time, and they're low HP. So I guess you can just do whatever you want here at this point.
Think I should base here, but this is at this point game should just already be won. So, but yeah, this is like here I should just base. Like this is so.
Whoa,
stupid.
yeah, you're getting out of. This is out of control, Konsti. Do not try this at home, people. I think this is a disclaimer. Yeah, it's like this is dangerous, very dangerous activity. Okay, you're very patient here, Konsti. I like the patience.
Yeah, this is just because we don't have E right now. Like your champ,
Because you have no E.
your E.
Yeah. So you're waiting for your E.
I look now I have E and I just dash into his face.
So really got to think about your E cooldown. It's a really good tip, Konsti. Always think about that. No E, no fighting.
Yeah.
Didn't even
Now I even know that Kata is coming, but I'm just stupid.
Yeah, just E going, Konsti. All right, there you go. That's probably the biggest fat buy. You have 4,700 gold. So you get Stridebreaker and you're building Blade of the Ruined King. So why Blade of the Ruined King this game over Black Cleaver? Just to reiterate.
Overall, enemy team doesn't have a single tank because they have like Kalista top and their support is Yumi, and Norda and Nautilus. And in jungle, it's also like Rengar and Norda, Sejuani, or Maokai. So I think Black Cleaver doesn't benefit you that much. And the Borg movement speed and damage is just nice. And you get lifesteal too.
Oh, this is really cool. I love your mindset here, Konsti. You're saying Rakan on me and we end off this second Herald. So
Yeah.
you're saying that because Herald's so OP on Bel'Veth, you just want to get the Herald and just like win the game through like a side lane or through mid with this one Herald because you're so far ahead.
Yeah, I think at this point it's just that you can legit kill 4 people. I don't think alone, but especially if you have someone like Rakan on you, you can for sure go in like 2v4, 2v5. Like you're just unstoppable. You can even dive people, and it's just like really hard to do something against it.
All right, then they FF.
Okay,
All
there
right,
you go.
Konsti. Let's look at. I think we have time. Let's look at another game. Let's keep
Yeah.
looking at the early game openups. I'm very curious. So let's go into our second game here. Oh yeah. So as we can see here, we see Konsti's 94% win rate with 16 games played on this account. The Bel'Veth expertise. All right. So Konsti, you don't go in this VOD to here because you're doing your Raptors invade. You run this direction. Is there a reason for that? Ah, wait, no, never mind. You need to change your path in. Oh, never mind. Ignore what I just said there, Konsti. You baited me.
I think about the Raptor invade, you just need to be careful if you play against. I think Maokai is like the only champ. There are like some champs where one spell of them, I think like Nunu, but Nunu doesn't want to start Raptors. But Maokai Q is just really broken and does like 200 to Raptors. So this is one of the champs that can outsmite you. But you win the smite against like 95% of the champs. So I think Maokai is like an exception.
Alright, so you're waiting in this bush again, making sure you're waiting in this bush and then not this bush because it could be watered. Is that your mindset? And
Yeah, I think
then now
this is
you
the
move up
main
to
thing.
here.
If this is
And,
watered, they might shift top down. But if you stay in this bush and then you go, now it's too late to shift down. And this is again, you get spot. Oh, this is my bad. You should
uh-oh.
water it.
So that's actually what you'll do as well. You'll ward over here for the red buff as you're walking to the Raptors. Because I guess this is so unique, right? Because Bel'Veth does them so quick. By the time they react to this ward, you're probably already level 2, right?
Yeah, I think this is the thing. If you ward and they're like, oh, we're getting late invaded, if they shift now and they stop doing red buff, you just win Raptors and you're already level 2, but then they cancel the red buff. So it's already good. But often, like, especially if you hit level 2 and you get the E in the early skirmishes, it's really big. At here, we win Smite, but I think he gets 1 or 2 little Raptors, so we don't get level 2.
So exact same thing before. So after you do that Raptors, you just go straight to your Raptors. That's usually looks like what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then you get level 2, you soak up experience mid to get level 2. Smart. Alright, so why are you looking at the blue buff there, Konsti? What's going on? What are you thinking about here? You thinking about invading? Is that what you're thinking about right now?
Yeah, and I want to see if he's on it, because we just have it watered, but maybe he dragged it in the bush, so I don't like see it, but he's still not on it.
Alright, so you're still level 2 at this point. So you're happy with level 2 Bel'Veth, even though you don't have W. You don't care.
I think this is just because I'm really close to level 3, so I might just soak XP off the
Okay.
lane. But yeah, I think because top wave is just in a really bad state. It's like gankable.
Alright, so almost get that, but I don't think he sees you here.
Nah.
Very good patience here. Look at that. Alright, so auto attack Q, E. Beautiful. And did you get the Gromp there, I think, as well?
Yeah.
Very nice. Alright, so what do you think about now? Do you care about punishing the talent? You think about your camps? I mean,
I think here you can either base and you just want to match tempo with Talon and you just get the bow and then you always same tempo as he is, but you have the item advantage, and then you can just contest bot side again. But yeah, mid gank was just
Free.
juicy.
Juicy gank mid.
And now we get bot scale, because if you go top scale, like the only thing Talon can do right now is go bot scale, because top camps are all down. So even if he now goes to top scale, it's kind of bad for him,
Because
because
all these camps.
yeah, they are spawning, and I still have my bot side, and he can only punish like my cracks on top. But yeah, this is happy for us.
So yes, you're denying any option that the enemy jungler has here because you know he's going bot out of base.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Now this is a disciplined base now, Konsti. Where this is the 1300 gold base. This is what you're going to be doing most games. This is probably pretty. This is what good Bel'Veth gameplay I guess looks like. But so because last game we had the amazing base, the 2300 gold base, but this is the 1300 gold base. Oh, so you're really paying attention to top wave here. Do you think top's gonna? No, I mean top won't die because we know enemy misfortune's bot. I mean, sorry, the enemy jungler's bot, the Talon's bot.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing the good old double campion. Okay.
It's back.
Konsti bringing back the double campion. Riot cannot nerf Konsti's Bel'Veth.
Yeah, now Talon's top. But I think even if she dies, it's okay.
Alright, so you have your option to do top camps, but you want to trade dragon for this?
Yeah.
Is Bel'Veth good at doing dragons? Is she fast at dragons?
Yeah, she's, especially if you have Noonquiver, she's kind of fast. But I think overall in this meta, you want to be level 5 on most champs to do solo Drake. But
Yep.
if you have bot lane leasing Drake, it's always better. Because it just saves HP and a lot of tempo.
So this is again an example of the way you use E on camps. You're never going to E this until it gets lower HP, maybe like 1000 health.
Yeah. I think you smite early and then you just E.
And there it is there.
And because it's so early, like we don't even have 6, but I think this is like a good Drake. Because now you can play Herald with your ult then, and then you can play next Drake, and it's different one timer.
So you obviously know these camps are up because Talon hasn't taken these because he showed top for the top gank.
I think the other thing with Drake was maybe he could have taken cracks. So if I only get Raptors but then cracks are down, it's not that good for me. But Drake is like 100%. This is why I also think Drake is just better. Because he could have taken my cracks.
Oh, so you feel like there's nothing to do here? I mean, there's not really. You don't really want to gank a full HP Cassante. Valkos is probably going to base anyway, and then you get 700 gold. You get the. So you call this is the bow, right? Item. This is the bow.
Yeah,
You call
how's
it
it
the bow,
called?
right?
I think it's called something with bow.
Okay, it looks like some just I'll call like the attack speed item. I don't know. So you do in terms of jungle tracking, you know Talon's bots. You're sort of like again, look at your cursor, Konsti. Like you're literally clicking here, so it's like you want to aggressively making a play here because I guess there's not really anything for you to do. I mean, your Grumps comes up in 10 seconds, but you're really looking to be aggressive here. Trying to find the Talon. Is that your mindset, or you counter ganking bot?
Yeah, I think counter gank bot.
All right, and then you sort of hit the plan to scare him off, I guess.
But overall, if nothing happens right now, you're also happy. I think right now, game plan is just to get 6, and then, because I'm so fat, I just want to get Herald.
Okay, so right now you want to get Herald, yeah.
I think this is like now the first example where I don't use E on Grump, because I know there might be
Yes.
scuttle fight. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is really important. You could have, you don't need the Grump because you need the E for the scuttle fight. Yep.
Especially if you play against like 2 assassins, if you want to call Ari an assassin. But if they full combo you and you have E, they do no damage. But if you don't have E, you just get one tapped. So I think that's like the biggest difference.
Okay. So So you're upset at your Rakan for not using his abilities.
But I think this
But
is
I guess, yeah,
because we
because now Talon has no ult, right? So now he's a
yeah
free Herald.
get both ults. I think Ari is more of the problematic ult, but your E even follows Talon and Akali if they go Invis or Enshroud.
Right, so you're holding Q, do another Q. This is a bit of a chase. So we're going to lose the option to do Herald now?
I think if we kill, this is sad because it flashes.
Oh, no.
Now we
Okay,
have to flash.
Alright, so now I guess you have to just be patient on the Herald now, is that right? Because you can't Herald anymore. Yeah.
But now, because we again like did plays, now camps up again. So I think it's
Yep, 1-1 ratio. So one player camps, one player camps.
yeah.
Again, I could see so many people go into like, oh, I killed the top laner. I'm going to go Herald. And then Vel'Koz's base, Fiora base, and you get killed there.
Yeah, because I think this is maybe one of the things where you lose a lot of games. It's like you look for a play, maybe you don't even get the kill, but you only get sums. But then you look for another thing, you die, and in the end you like didn't farm for 3 minutes or something.
So
And
bad. That's, so bad as a jungler. That's end of review in terms of my coaching. That's end of review. Alright, so you reset for Kraken Slayer. Okay, so why do you go top here and not bot, Konsti?
Because I think I even ping it. Cracks into Herald, and then later on Drake is also spawning. And top is just no flash.
Alright, you're just confident to go through lane here, Konsti. I guess this is the power of... Lane ganks, I guess, are so good with Bel'Veth, right? Because you close so much distance.
Yeah. Especially if you have ult. I think this is something a lot of people underestimate, but your like the passive movement speed you get if you have ult, it's really nice.
So that's in your form. So you get lots more movement there when you're in your form.
Yeah.
So it looks like these type of objectives here. So because you really don't want to lose the smite fight to a thing, so you E first. This is the opposite now, Constantly. You'll say the smite camps first and then E, but you want to still finish off with the smite. Is that just to secure the objective? Because it's so important.
I think because Herald, the way it works, that more often you auto attack, like every auto you do, it makes the eye proc faster. So you wanted to open the eye, and then you E, because your E is like 7 autos or something. Look, now I proc the eye, and now I just E, so it's a lot of autos. And now I just proc the eye again, and now,
I did not know that. That's such good information. So the I is about how many auto attacks you have, and E counts as auto attacks, and the I will proc super quick.
Yeah.
I did not even know that, dude. So yeah, look at, because I was going to say, this is not normal. The I comes up so quick. So you hit the I. Oh, wait, sorry. Let's do that again. So you hit the I. Wait, where did you hit the I?
I think
oh my god, I'm not going back further enough. Okay, so you hit the I. Oh, no, that's about right.
Hey, it's kind of okay. It's still kind of long. But I think the other thing is that I don't know what exact health, but the eye can't open if the health is below 2K or
like
something.
1200. Yeah, something like that.
this. Yeah. So you wanted to proc eye one more time before.
Alright, so was your mindset here just to get dragon as the next objective? Or you want to break mid tower here? Do you want to dive mid, I guess? Oh, try to queue over that wall. And this is the dive. You gotta pick up the coral.
No 2K.
Because you would have died if you picked up your R right there, right?
I think this is the other thing, that you shouldn't greed for these things. Also in fight, it's not like you kill someone and you need to pick it up as we had before in the Yumi game. I think you need to know when to pick it up and when to just leave it.
Again, I guess this comes with experience with Bel'Veth, right? This is knowing your limits, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so we just do dragon here. Are you thinking about breaking a tower with Herald or anything, or you just want to go back to your camps? What's your thought process here, Konsti?
I think now because Kraken is base, we need to wait him, but then we should just dive bot.
So you're waiting for a Khan first, and then you'll go kill bot. And in the meantime, is a great time to do your camps.
Yeah, just camps. The double camp.
Alright, so you're waiting for a Khan ult. Close a lot of distance in lane here. Alright, so this is sort of the same situation as last VOD here, Constantly. You're looking to break the tier 2 tower with this Herald and your little your corals.
It's just because T2 is so much gold.
Yeah, tier 2. So these ones, so specifically, these towers, tier 2 towers, a lot of gold, but this tower's not a lot of gold. Is that the way it works?
Yeah. But I think the side towers, they give like 550 local gold if you hit it. So I think it's just perfect for snowballing. Like this is 180 now, but divided through 3, so it's just so much gold.
So if possible, you always try and look into get that second tower.
Yeah.
So I guess the other thing as well to note, for just people newer to Bel'Veth, so Konsti hasn't died at all here, so you have 180 seconds here on your Rift Herald form, and every time you get a kill, you will stay on this form and it enhances it 60 seconds. And there we go, it goes to 174. You added 60 seconds to it. So I guess that's for people that knew it at Bel'Veth. I didn't know that kills were 60 seconds and the Herald and the Baron was 90. Yeah, 3 minutes, so 180 seconds. But Dragon is 60 seconds as well, right? If you kill Dragon. Yeah.
So really often it's you get first Herald, and then if you play clean and you don't go for stupid things, and you still get like a few kills and drakes, you often end up getting the second Herald while your first Herald form isn't even over yet. And it's just really good because you have that permanent movement speed, permanent attack speed, and whenever you gank a lane, you still like spawn your little thingies. So I think keeping the form is just really good.
So you would say that that's a good Bel'Veth game. A really good Bel'Veth game is you have your form like basically the whole game, and a bad Bel'Veth game is like you're dying a lot and you have no form like the whole time.
Yeah, it kind of affects you a lot if you have form or not. Just overall, like how you run around the map.
And it sounds like the more about the speed, you value the speed of this form more so.
And just passive attack speed, like just clearing camps, all of it, it's just really nice to have.
As we can see here, we've just killed. So how do these spawn? Is it when you kill minions or the minions die around you?
Just die around you. And even your own minions, that's the other stupid thing.
Ah.
Because otherwise it was balanced.
So your own minions die and spawns them as well as the enemy minions. That's so broken, man. Holy moly. Alright, so you've just broken the top tower. So what are you thinking about now? So we're looking to dive mid here. I guess we saw Thresh low HP.
Yeah.
1Q, 2Qs, W, knock up, dead. We just add another 60 seconds to our form. We're back to full form.
That's the other thing. You can just do so many illegal things. Like you just dash T2 or you in their backline and all of that. And people just can't kill you. Because whenever you dash in deep, you always have the other two dashes to dash back out again.
Dash back, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like the perfect Konsti champion. Just illegal things all the time, just getting away. And then you're like baiting the enemy team because then they're all chasing you and just running away. And then all your team comes and kills them.
Yeah.
I want to know here, Konsti, so why don't you either camp this time now, Konsti? So we're not in camps now.
I think, especially with 2 items, you're at a point where your autos do so much. Like, I have 2 autos per second, and they do like 300. and I have my Q2. So saving like half a second on the camp to use E for it, so you like make up half a second, I think it's not worth it because then you don't have it for 20 seconds.
Yeah. So
Like if you come out of base and you want to do full clear or you want to like clear blue side, I think it's fine to E blue grump. But especially now where people are miss and you don't know what's gonna happen, I think it's good to now hold it.
and I guess you're in the enemy jungle right now, so you got to be prepared for battle,
Yeah,
right?
I think this is the other thing. In your jungle, you can always E, especially if you're ahead. But in enemy jungle, you just need to be careful.
But you're saying you even right now because you have these two items here, you would still just not E your camps because you kill a camp so fast with auto attacks and
I think you,
Qs.
if I want a full clear, I would still E camps.
Okay.
But in enemy jungle, you should be careful a bit.
All right, so I want to talk about this here, Konsti, again, this fight here, because it's really important. So you Q over the wall here. I guess you don't have another Q. Okay, I mean, you do have another Q forward here, right? But you don't Q because you just know you're going to get in range to auto attack. I guess so.
And because of Rakan.
Because of, okay, and Stride Breaker, right? You can, like, slow him.
I think the other thing is that she has to flash the Rakan W. So you just hold your Q, and if she flashes it,
yeah, okay.
yeah. Like if she flashes away, then I just do 2 Qs now towards her flash, and then she still dies.
I see. So yeah, again, this is sort of, again, the same thing. You're patient with your Qs, but you're intentional with them. And yeah, you're just not just spamming your Q button all the time. You're like really think about how your auto attacks and Qs come together.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes the Bel'Veth play. I think it's all about just Q usage, honestly. And obviously hitting your W is really important, but if you have good Q usage, you'll be able to hit better Ws.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so the next fight. Just running
And this
at
is what
this
I mean.
guy. Can't even get away, man. Did he ult? Did Ari
This is
ult?
this is a Ari with 3 dashes, but this is also because you have Stride Breaker now. So
Yeah,
now
you
she's
slow him, yeah. 3 ults,
Yeah.
and you're able to close that distance. Wow.
And now you still have E. Like this is the thing, you just want to hold E now, and you just want to auto use Qs and stuff, and then you can still play it.
$12-0. So I guess this is really important here. I just want to talk about this skirmish here, Konsti, again. Like this is probably looks pretty simple to you, but to the viewer, we got to break this down. So you initially get this kill. You kill Ari, and then you don't go back in here. You're sort of like waiting a little bit here. So are you waiting for them to use all their abilities? Like, is that because you see how you're kiting out and you're waiting for your time to come back in here?
And for Vel'Koz to come a bit closer.
So you're waiting for your Valkos there. So you're on your peripheral vision, you're looking at Valkos. Okay, yeah. So you're really just fighting for your members. Yeah, yeah. Really, again, just importance, guys. This is what Challenger gameplay. You know, like you got to think about where your teammates are. Like, because I would see everyone just going. It's like, oh my god, I got to save my Rakan. I got to go in, otherwise she'll flame me. But you're like, I let Rakan die. Me and Valkos kill everyone. That's your mindset. All right, so this game though, Konsti, you didn't type to your Rakan. You're going to type to your Rakan saying, "We do second Herald, we end game."
Nah, we need Nash. 20 Nash, then we end.
All right, so this is where
But this is what I mean. Now Herald is up, but I still have my form, and I still like spawn the passive on top.
Yeah, we've literally had form the whole since the first Herald. So that means you would have had it for like 8 minutes up time.
Mm-hmm.
Do Heralds so fast, and then you either Herald about 3,000
but now
HP.
it dropped too low.
Yeah, then it loses the eyes.
Yeah. But this is with the intention, so it opens the eye. But now, especially because you have Blue Smite too, it's like you have Stride for movement speed, you have Form for movement speed, and you have Blue Smite, and you have your Qs. You just travel a whole map so fast.
And this is why you love the champion, right, Konsti? Because you're just so mobile. So you have
But yeah,
enough
this is
gold for your next item, right? So should be basing, or are you happy to keep fighting
yeah.
now?
I was about to say. I think this is the thing. It's like you can just base here, but this is maybe a bit Bel'Veth syndrome where you just
The form.
yeah, you like
Bel'Veth
so
is a...
fat now.
Oh my god, Konsti, you're crazy, dude. The enemy team's all here. I never mind, there's two
But
people
this is
top.
what I mean. For example, you have the Q, like the two
Two
Qs to be
dashes.
aggressive.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
two to back, so
and
yeah.
with those two Qs, I baited out Ari ult and Kaiser Ghost. Now I just want to get out, but now Ragnar wants to get in. But just because of my two Qs, I baited out Ari ult and Kaiser Ghost, and I just Q out again. I think this is also what you can do because you have so much damage now that you or they just get one tapped. But you don't even want to kill the no flash or ult, and that's it. But yeah, I should just be basing here. This is just being greedy and limit testing.
Konsti still limit testing with Bel'Veth at 90% win rate at the moment.
Yeah.
And then there's our first death. And now we lose our form. No, we lose our empowered form. Alright, so you got Death Stance now. So why go Death Stance here and not Black Cleaver or Blade of the Ruined King?
I think more because Kaiser, Talon, Ari, they all kind of like burst heavy. So worst case, you get hit by that one charm or that one hook. So Death Stance at least buys you time, so you don't die during the like CC, and then you can still get E in, and then often E buys you more time, so your team can kill them, and then you get the reset, and then you just heal off Death Dance, Triumph, and your ult.
So sort of here because you're against two AD assassins like Talon. That's why Death
Yeah.
Stance. It's more a defensive item. Yeah. Oh, so you pop Rifthold bot. It must have been expiring soon. Is that why you popped the Rifthold or using it intentionally?
And because I want to play Nash. Like,
Play Nash, okay.
you can often solo Nash on Bell, especially on 3 items, if you have form. So it just creates like side lane pressure.
So you're using the Herald for silent pressure because you want to try and solo potentially the Baron.
Yeah. Yeah, now they have to make a decision if they like defend bot or if they want to fight us.
Right, so I'm really interested to see how you play this fight, Konsti, because you have no form here, right? So you looks like you're just going in and out, just baiting things and just playing slow, just going in and out. Okay.
And also
Yeah.
here, this was. I think it's fine. It's more of that Vel'Koz ult doesn't reach, and because Rakan ulted before. I think if Rakan still had ult there, it's like just a quarter, or like we just aced them. But maybe it was wrong timing. But yeah, I think a lot is just in and out, in and out. You bait stuff, like even like queuing towards Ari trash. They use hook or charm, then you just dash out again, and then your Qs are way lower cooldown than their CCs, and then you can play off that.
I actually think your Rakani has it a point here. Your 1K bounty for funning, when you're for funning bot here, Konsti. I don't blame the Rakani here. I think Rakan may have a point here, Konsti.
We make up for it here.
Yeah, we make up for it here. Alright, here we go. Slap, 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 hold Qs.
Like here's the thing, you often even hold Qs, you just auto.
Just
Because
auto,
now
okay.
you're already 3 autos per second. And they all do a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, so can you explain how this works? Yeah, so you have 95 stacks right now. So you get stacks off minions and camps, is that right?
Yeah, of like cannons. minions, it's only cannons that give you
Cannon
one stack.
minions. Okay, yeah.
A kill gives you a stack. Monsters give you all one stack, and then picking up your ult, as we do right now, also gives you a stack. So if you make here, if you go back, I think we should have gotten 8 stacks here, because we get a Quadra, and
Yeah, you have 86 stacks, yep.
And we get a cannon. Look, this is where the... Do we get the cannon?
Do the cannon? So if you hit that cannon, you would have got another stack.
Yeah, another stack.
So 93, 95,
Yeah,
so you got 2 for that. And then, yeah, the cannon dies, yeah.
Yeah, so it's... And this also snowballs. Like, this is why if you make a Quadra or something, and you get ults too, so it's like double the stacks, it really snowballs a lot. But this is why you don't only want to like fist fight, get kills. Because even if you just farm and get camps, you still get stronger because you get the passive stacked. So I think this is also an important thing. So and you don't actually need to kill the cannon. If you, for example, gank and you hit cannon once and then your ADC kills the cannon, you still get the stack. You just need to like attack it within like the last 5 seconds or something.
So it has to die around you in the last... Just attack it once, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really good to know. The other thing here is... So what is it? So is there spikes? You know how Kindred has mark spikes? Like 4 marks just gives lots of attack range and 7 marks and stuff like that. How does it work for Bel'Veth passive?
I think this is just linear. Like it just gives you... I don't know what exactly it is. It's like...
There's something cool when you get 100?
I think 1% per stack.
Oh, 1% attack speed, yeah. So when it's 100 stack, don't you like do that really quick auto attacks? Like, you know, like really fast?
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is also why like Rage Blade and stuff is like cool. Because you just get this like way earlier that you do the cool attacks.
Ah, I see. That's why people like Rage Blade. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like Stride Break and stuff does give you attack speed, but this is why like Trinity and whatever you want to go with attack speed, it's just... It also looks cool.
It just looks cool, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like you're doing so much damage.
Yeah.
All right, so you get Baron. All right, so is your mindset right now, like, when you get Baron, do you want to, like, go and split push by yourself? Is that what you want to do, like, typically?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think really often, especially if you're this fat, you can't just be the split pusher in the team. Because, especially if this wave would have been at our T2, if we would have pushed that towards their inhib, you would have spawned, like, so many of your little thingies. And they're, like, really big. Because now all of these spawn again the little thingies, and they are kind of strong because they are also like Baron buffed.
Baroned up, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but now we just have to respect a bit.
Yeah, because the enemy team goes missing. They clear the Bel'Veth minions. All right, here we go. Q forward. Slap him. Run away. Run away.
Bait abilities. Yeah.
Yeah, in and out, in and out.
Yeah, like you respect because you're right now weak side, but even then you can like still posture aggressive because you still have your 2 dashes, but they still like send 2 members in on bot here, and we get kill on mid and the push on mid. And now E hits Talon while he's in this.
You kill him literally in Talon ult, yeah.
I think this is why she's so good right now into Talon and Kha'Zix. Because also they have that 1 burst, but you reduce their damage, and it still hits them while they invis.
Alright, looks like the game's pretty much over here. Do a little bit more fighting. Okay, I mean, let's look at this final montage here for your Konsti. We'll do the final montage. Alright, here we go. Let's see how you use your Qs and fight here. So, Mr. W there, kiting back.
Yeah, the Cassante. What is this?
Oh! She's ignoring the...
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is cool. That is so satisfying, dude. You have 123 stacks. Just slapping people. See, this makes this champ look so fun. I want to play Bel'Veth right now. Alright, then you win the game. Alright, so Konsti. people have watched this video. They're all excited. They've saw you with 22 kills and 2 deaths in like a Grandmaster Challenge at US game. Where would you recommend? You talked a lot about you want people to like limit test to learn your limits, and that's what you did for your journey. What is some advice you'll give to new Bel'Veth players, like specifically? Like, should you focus on farming a lot more? Should you go for those early get raptors? What should you be doing?
Yeah, I think try the early Raptor Invade, see how that goes. The other thing is just take a lot of fights, especially in early, and then in those fights, really focus on getting the autos in between your abilities, and to not waste E early. Like, you really need to get comfortable with being low. Like, you want you and the enemy both lows, because then your E is the best. So E's always to finish off the enemy. It's just like Q auto, W auto, like you just do a lot of autos and Qs and stuff. And then E is to finish off. And I think this should be like the main thing to get the autos in between the spells, to be comfortable with using E really late and often just holding it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe focusing on having really efficient clear. I mean, you can just link the videos I will send you. But I think those are like the best full clears if you want to go for them.
Yep, we can chuck those the full clears in the description as well.
But this just shows that how long you hold E, So maybe you wait. Because this is the other mechanic here. This is probably like the only hard mechanic that you can do but you can flash your Q. Wait, can I reduce speed here too? No. But look, now the problem is, like, look, I'm this low and I still didn't use E.
Yeah, you're literally holding. This is knowing your limits.
Yeah, and now I only have a Q, but he's like the other side of me, so I Q into this direction, but then flash behind him, and it still does the damage.
Does the damage. Cool. And then you get that. Whoa. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. So I think this is like prime example of limits. But this is what I mean. Like here, I still don't panic, because I know his cooldowns. I know he doesn't have Q, he doesn't have E, so all he does have is autos. So I'm just chilling, and then you just E to finish off. Because I feel like a lot of people here, they're like, oh shit, I'm low. Especially
they run away. Yeah, then you
they run away, or now they E. But if you E now, your E is like, you still need too many things to kill him.
He's not in execute range.
Yeah, that's the thing.